Good evening and welcome to another episode of From the Backseat Football podcast. On today's show, I'm fuming. We're talking about Tottenham and Liverpool and what an absolute shit show that was. And as I'm recording, we've just got the audio from the PGMOL, so I look forward to reviewing that with Hugh and getting annoyed all over again. Hello Hugh, how are you, mate?
Thank you, mate. I'm definitely going into this weekend in a much better way than you are. And
yes, you are.
And I'm looking forward to today. It's been a controversial week, the kind of week that you live and breathe as a neutral when you're not involved in any of the drama. You have a nice comprehensive win away on the South Coast. So
Must be nice.
May as well jump straight in.
Yeah, let's just go for it then. So yeah, Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1, but 2, let's be real. Fuck me, where to begin with this game? I mean, I tried to bullet point out all the controversy, but after a while, when you get to 7 bullet points and you haven't even talked about the actual game or the impact, do you know what? Let's just start with the most present thing. At the time of recording, listener, which is Tuesday evening, the PGMOL has just released the audio, and in their own words, oh fuck, we need to delay the game. And that, I think, is how everyone felt watching it. What a mental decision that was to not allow Diaz's goal. I don't really understand a lot about that decision. It kind of baffles me that at no point did logic take control and they go, do you know what? Let's actually just stop the game. And my reference point for this is when Brighton played Man United a few seasons ago and the match ended and then they realised they'd made an error and they fucking turned the match back on, basically, and awarded a penalty after the game had ended. So there is precedent for just doing something completely rogue and going around the protocol. So I think they just shit themselves, basically. I think they just got caught up in their own mistake and just didn't know what to do and just let it happen, basically. They were just passive at that point. It seems like they regret it. It seems like they're probably not going to officiate again, a lot of them, but VAR was supposed to solve a lot of this, and that's what makes it so painful. To everybody watching it in the stadium, at home, on the TV, in the pub, even in the fucking VA office, it was onside. And it's given offside. And it's changed the whole complexion of the game, and it's the only thing you can really focus on at this point in what was an amazing game, for all the wrong reasons as a Liverpool fan. But yeah, fucking fuming.
It's a passionate rant, that. My favourite part about that is that it's actually Tuesday evening, and this game took place Sunday. Maybe not even Sunday, this was Saturday. You can still hear the pain as he thinks about how
it's going to live long in the fucking memory, that one.
Thing is,
it's so bad, right?
I was like, it didn't look like a bad decision.
Paying out on this, bro.
At first, it didn't sound like a bad decision, like on tape, because you know, before we weren't used to the kind of angle that the line should come. So you used to draw your own line, right? So things are different now. You understand what that line was. When they put that line in, it was so clear. I couldn't believe how clear it was. And they showed it. They showed the image that they looked, and then they just carried on. It's just like, what? And after the red card as well. Oh my god. It is rotten, isn't it? It is proper rotten. It is. I feel bad. All being on the end of it, though. You know what I mean? It swings and roundabouts. The problem with VAR is we need to stop looking at it as we're going to eliminate every error. We're just going to mitigate it. But human error, because VAR is still controlled by humans, we need AI. We need to lessen humans in every department in football, in my opinion, because that was a stinker.
I agree. It was. Yeah. I would say this is probably the worst day at the office I think I've ever seen as a Liverpool fan, because like, everything that could go wrong went wrong, and of course we lost to an own goal right at the end. Like that was inevitable. If anything, I'm surprised we even made it to that point, still with a chance of getting something from the game, and that's why I feel like the overall conclusion is that Liverpool as a collective can use this as fuel now. I feel like Jurgen Klopp's going to get a lot out of this result.
Yeah, he's doing his
creating that siege mentality,
exactly.
You know, and creating that underdog mentality monster thing. It's all there now, the narrative for us to have a really fucking good season, because That was outrageous. It was all. I actually can't even think. I can't even get my
let
fucking
it all
thoughts
out.
together.
Let it all out.
Here's another thing that's really fucking annoying about it.
Mhm.
Apparently, they went to the UAE to referee like 2 days before. Why are referees doing that? What is that about? This is not a Champions League squad where we're like, right, refs, we've qualified for European competition or Middle Eastern competition, so we're playing 2 games a week. What is that about? That is mental. Probably irrelevant. Don't care. I fucking hate the PGMOL. And then also, what does a sorry do? What does a sorry really do? The only rational thing to do now,
It's called accountability.
Tottenham, you're not going to like this suggestion. When you come to Anfield in April or May, or whatever the fuck it is, we'll start with a goal. Give us a goal. We'll start with a goal. You know it's the right thing to do. And you'll be glorious losers. You know, everyone will be like, oh, what a nice team. And just such a nice guy. Mate, he's just let us score a goal. What a legend. That's the right thing to do. It's the only way to sort this out, really. You might still beat us.
Big rant to start off this pod. And
plenty more.
It should be a credit because Liverpool could have won it with 9 men. Could have still nicked it. And that was that kind of game where Tottenham are a good team. You'd have taken a 1-1. All considering the red cards, and we'll come on to the red cards in just a second. You know, it was heartbreaking that Matip in the 96th minute puts it in his own net. Oh, it was the most classic ending, and I hated that it went for Spurs. But,
no.
You know, I'm glad it went one way. It was one of those games where someone had to win it. Full of drama,
finish.
Great football for 30 minutes until it got man down. Even when you had 10 men, you still played really well. You shouldn't look at it too badly. You're 1 point behind still. You're 1 point behind Tottenham, 1 point behind Arsenal. What was it 3 points behind City? It's nothing. Doesn't matter. It's so early.
Yeah. It is early. It's just, there's a lot of positives to take from it, but there's a lot of damage that comes out of this game, though. Like, obviously, the drama, the hysteria, also the fact we've got 2 fucking bans now. One of them's 3 games, one of them's 1 game.
Yeah,
Gakpo's
but what
injured.
if they get appealed?
Matip's sad. Well, I can't see any appeal being rejected based on the way that the other decisions have gone. I feel like it's going to take a real stickler for the rules to go, actually, no, they're going to uphold those bans. But I don't hold my breath. Although, what's going on with Liverpool? That's four red cards, bro, this season.
Wow, remember
Jurgen
Jurgen Klopp a couple seasons ago had that little vendetta against the referees in the league. So maybe this is actually.
I think he's coming home to roost.
Maybe he did mark himself as a bit of a martyr, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he was surprisingly mellow in the post-match. I feel like he might have learned a lesson, finally, that if you go off on the refs, you are just going to have a bad time. And I feel like sometimes you just have to hold your hands up and be like, it's just one of those days where everything that could go wrong went wrong, and we still actually did quite well.
Yeah, you just got to pick yourself up if you're Liverpool. Don't take it as, it would have been worse if it was like a 3-0 humping. Do you know what I mean? That would have been 10 times worse than losing by, what should have been a goal. Should have been 2-2. Should have been 2 at half time to Liverpool. I think that's the bit because it would have changed the complexion of the game. But also, I don't know why Liverpool fans are acting like they're the only team that's ever been wronged by VAR. I think that says a lot. Everyone's been wronged. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I quite like the fact that there's still mistakes, but then also if there's still going to be mistakes, I'd rather go back to human eye interpretation. Because then, you're just like, okay, well, it looks onside, but we'll never know. Now we know. So when you don't get it right, for all the times you do get it right, and the ones that you do get right, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because you don't really care about an inch. No one's caring about an inch. I don't know. I feel like
it's lower the competency of referees, though. I
think so.
Because they know they have this backup. I feel like the quality is worse. People used to just get most decisions right, pretty much. And it was all fine. Football's really fun. And now it seems like they get so many decisions wrong with all this extra tech. So I feel like they've just got worse.
But do you know what I mean? It's like, it's that small difference. Like, what's the point of getting it right when that's like millimeters, and you ruin an amazing goal? Like that, it's like no one who actually enjoys football is going to enjoy that over a long period. And as you say, there's no competency. But anyway, we need to talk about Spurs. I don't really want to, so I'll let you do it. To be honest, I will. I think they played I think they played really well. They played the same way that they play against us. Just play out from the back, confidently. Not confidently, but then you worry that when they do get confident, they're going to be a real prospect. Because I'm used to them just hoofing it to Harry Kane. It's weird seeing them play out from the back, playing really good football. They've got like a completely new midfield out of nowhere, out of players that were cast off or, not in the first team. And then Maddison and Son up front look brilliant, don't they? No one's missing Kane. I said it from the beginning, Kane was holding them back.
No one is missing Kane. He definitely wasn't, but they've sorted it out. They've made it work immediately.
Are they a better team now, though? Arguably. When I say a team, like, yes, the output from Harry Kane may have paid for the price, but as a team, as a collective, are they not stronger or better?
So I think they are a better team, but I think rather than it being that Harry Kane has gone, I think a larger portion is that Antonio Conte's gone and Mourinho's gone and Nuno's gone. I think having an actual manager who's positive and normal is a bigger factor than getting rid of Kane, in my opinion. I feel like Ange's the main driver between the good vibes and the good football.
Perhaps. You could be right. Big Ange has made a massive difference.
Right. Let's play a game. Red cards or no red card? Curtis Jones. What do you think, Hugh? It's controversial. I think it's probably a red card, but the freeze frame, what I will say is when you put the freeze frame of the worst possible angle in the worst possible second as the starting screen for a referee, it's basically like showing someone in a court, like a picture of someone accused of murder with like a knife, like right there. And it's not like the whole picture. You've already kind of like pushed them down a certain angle at that point. You're trying to tell them it's a red card. They're guilty. Yeah, they murdered him.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not watching it in the real picture, in the real flow of football. You're just watching this specific moment. It was fucking bad, that image. So that was a red card, but he did just roll over the ball.
Yes. Okay. Well, this is what I want to talk about because obviously anyone who watched it on Sky would have had Gary Neville just, had a very strong opinion that it wasn't a red card. I don't know if that's just clouded my. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't.
I agree. Gary Neville's a bit of a Liverpool ally at the moment. I'd say he's one of the loudest voices against all this controversy.
He doesn't want to see Tottenham or Arsenal. You can stomach Liverpool deep down. You can't handle it. He wouldn't. He wouldn't want Tottenham or Arsenal. But that's what I mean. I'm like, is it a red card or is it not a red card? Because it is, like you say, like it is high, but then he does go over the ball. Is there a rule for that, or is it just interpretation? Because I agree.
Yeah,
snippet. It's just it going over the ball in slow mo. It looks bad.
I think it's one of them where his intention was to get his foot behind the ball, to shield the ball. But what's happened is he's just rolled straight over it into someone's leg.
Yeah, that happens so quickly.
Yeah,
it was unfortunate.
It's a tough one.
You can accept that as a red card, but I'd probably say that a yellow would have been fairer at that point in the game. Sorry, carry on.
I think a few years ago, being 26 minutes in, a yellow would have been fine. That's sort of the way the game used to be. It's like, don't really get red cards before about 45 minutes.
So
first half, you're probably okay. Some naughty challenges.
A big game.
Yeah. You kind of allowed one. Yeah, you kind of allowed like one naughty one
early
in big games or like games like this.
Just let them know you're there. Like that was the whole thing.
Yeah. So I think it's harsh because I don't think it's intentional. But the second red card for Jota is the one that irks me a bit more because that first yellow, I've seen a few replays now.
It's so bad.
As far as I can tell, Udoki's just tripped over his own leg.
Yeah.
And
referees
no VAR check, no nothing, no. Didn't think, should we just double check if this is even contact?
No VAR check.
Yeah, just get yellow out.
No way.
No VAR check.
No, that's dirty.
Straight in.
Dirty.
He got a yellow.
No way.
Mo got a yellow. Robertson got a yellow. Everyone was just getting a fucking yellow, left, right, and centre.
No.
And then he got annoyed, did something very silly, chopped Udogi afterwards, bit of payback. No complaints about that yellow, but yeah.
Well, okay.
Can't be sending someone off for one yellow card challenge.
My thoughts in the second, you're all right there. But Jota, I think you should be less annoyed at Jota than Curtis Jones. You should be more annoyed at Jota than Curtis Jones. Because regardless of whether the first was a yellow, he did get a yellow. So why he's gone and done that 2 minutes later, it baffles me. Because it does happen a lot, right? You just
Oh, yeah.
lose your head. What was he trying to do? If you're going to hurt him, fucking hurt him. He didn't do anything. He just kind of made it look like it was going to be a really bad challenge, but he didn't do anything. It's like, what are you doing? So, yeah, for me,
I reckon what's happened there is we know that Diego Jota is like one of the best FIFA players in the world. So what's happened is, you know, where things are going against you in FIFA and you just want to rage quit. I think what's happened is he's gone on autopilot and he's just tried to slide someone in the back of the legs and then quit the game.
Maybe. But then that's just dumb. Like, you've gone too far. You may as well just absolutely chop him and walk off the pitch.
Very, very dumb. Very dumb. And we almost bloody did it as well. But yeah, well done, Spurs. Hope you enjoy your sad little lives. And we move.
Do you feel better now?
I do, actually. That was quite therapeutic. But I know as soon as I go on social media, I'm just going to have to watch the audio again and again and again. And the memes.
Yeah, it's not looking good. But look at that table. All things considered, it's not major-ish. 2 points off top.
Nah, but you know, there's only 2 unbeaten teams in the league already, and that is Tottenham and Arsenal. North London is doing bits.
That's mad, isn't it?
And speaking of surprise results and not being an invincible, Wolves 2, Man City 1. Who saw this coming? And my favourite thing about this whole game by far is, you know how Pep likes to like big up teams that he's definitely about to smash. He usually does it post-match, but he went pre-game here. He was bigging up like Pedro Neto and all these players, and then he referenced that Korean guy as well. And I just thought, wow, this is such good foreshadowing from Pep, because who else pops up but that Korean guy with the winner? And it just makes me so happy. It just makes me so happy that Pep's so smart and he doesn't know Hwang's name. There's only like 3 Asians in the fucking Prem. It's so easy.
Yeah.
And yeah,
maybe he
that.
just thought he wasn't going to get the pronunciation right. Which is what I mean. I don't know. Who knows? Was it mind games? But then, like, what kind of mind games is that? It's a whole kettle of fish.
I think. Yeah, he was just speaking. I think he just wasn't really thinking about it. Just throwing names, just throwing rubbish at the media.
I can't believe this result. I thought it was in dreamland when I checked the scores of the other games. Absolutely insane. Fair play to Gary O'Neill.
So many cracking results this weekend. Yeah, bro. Lift off for the big man, or little man.
Gary O'Neill. I feel like Gary O'Neill's been unlucky so far. He's had some really tough games with Wolves. They obviously don't look like an inspired attacking side, but they are solid to a fault. You look at how Bournemouth are doing this season.
They are.
Oh, goodness me. He's a good manager.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting because he's very early in his career, so no one really knows if he's actually good or he just was the right guy at the right time for Bournemouth. But he's tried to make Wolves more fun this season, play 4 at the back. They absolutely dominated Man United in the first game, but they couldn't score, so you're like classic Wolves. Yeah. Same old Wolves. And so they are one good goal scorer away from being a very solid mid-table team again. But what I liked and what I noticed about this game, which would be interesting to look at, is that they went back to old Wolves for this game. So think Nuno Wolves, 3 centre-backs, 2 very defensive full-backs, and just sat really fucking deep and then just sent it. Who's on the right wing? It's the fastest man on the pitch, Pedro Neto, channeling his inner Adama Traore.
In this game.
Yeah. And that was their plan. Hit him hard on the break. They had Craig Dawson, like fucking Cannavaro, in the middle, shackling Haaland. Haaland had 14 touches all game. He's been man-marked by Craig Dawson. Craig Dawson! All game. And he destroyed him.
Who would have known Craig Dawson would be the one to finally slay the beast that is Erling Haaland?
I don't know. I don't even know how long Craig Dawson's been around top flight football. I feel like he keeps getting moves. I feel like he's been 30 for like 10 years. I just don't get it.
Excuse me. I think he's one of those. I always forget about West Brom. I want to say he's been at West Brom at some point. Yeah, he has. He just looks like a West Brom player.
He's definitely.
That's so weird. Yeah, I mean, he's played.
He's been bouncing around.
He's played 7 years there.
Where did he come from?
7 years there. So, to be fair, I probably
West Brom
that he played there.
Yeah, but then didn't he go West Ham for a bit, and then he moved from West Ham to Wolves this summer? And I'm like, who keeps buying Craig Dawson? He must be about
How old do you reckon he
39
is?
by now. But when he plays like
He's
this,
only 33, mate.
Hmm?
Not that much older than us.
that's so fucked.
Oh, bro.
That's so fucked. I don't like
Nah.
statistics like that, Hugh.
No, I'm not having that. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Um,
Which football player
yeah,
are you most
Craig
like?
Dawson,
Probably
yeah.
Craig Dawson, really.
Yeah.
Quite old, pretty average.
Solid, mate. Still blooming in
Not
his,
very
in his early
flashy. Oh
30s.
dear.
So I've gone down like Craig Dawson.
Rock
Craig
solid.
Dawson
Get him
one
in that
on.
England squad. Mate, it's interesting stuff. No one's ever looked into Craig Dawson. He's just an anomaly. He keeps getting better. But yeah.
Talk to me.
So Wolves have done bits, basically, in
Mateus
conclusion.
You thought he was brilliant in this game. Sorry, I've got a quick word on him. He was fantastic in this game. No,
Yeah, go on then.
like, I mean, he was 52 mil or something ridiculous, wasn't he? And they've got like an obligatory option. So I'm praying that he does come to them because they need a striker so bad. But he could be the answer. Kind of rangy, but he just makes a really powerful run.
They got a bit stitched up with that
it's
one.
a Jorge Mendes special, isn't it?
He is. Yeah, he's very much like. He's like Firmino, but with less output. Where it's like you're trying your best to not judge him on goals and about everything else that he does, which he does well.
To be fair,
but his goal return is pretty shambolic.
Do you reckon he's more Iheanacho? You know how you just always rate Iheanacho whenever he has a good game for the first time in like a year, and you're like, he's actually a good player. You know?
Maybe
I've been Iheanacho's.
Maybe because on paper he is terrible. Pound for pound, he's up there, one of the worst signings of the summer.
Yeah, he scored 6 goals and 40 appearances for Atletico. It's not even like he was prolific then.
Yeah, bro, I know.
Joking.
No.
30. Not even 30.
It's a tough one to get your head around.
Okay. All right, well, let's just move on because I embarrassed myself there. He's really one to flatter to the sea.
Yeah. Let's get on to another very confusing game. Aston Villa 6,
right,
Brighton and Hove Albion 1. I just don't get it anymore.
About Ollie Watkins yet?
Yeah, go on. Nah, fuck no. Fuck. Ollie Watkins is average.
Mate,
all of his goals were average.
I can't believe
he was lucky. One of them was deflected.
Exactly what they said about
One
Harry
of them
Kane
was like near post. Come on, bro.
He's okay. He's not Harry Kane level. All right, he's not. But he's
willing
for me. He's better than Tony.
I'm willing to continue
because he can just score shit goals. Such a talent. It doesn't matter. Like it's a hat trick. Well, who's here? Like, what's a shit goal? It's just, who fucking cares? Like he scores goals. Nothing.
I mean, a hat trick is a hat trick. I just think he's really average. I'm not going to lie to you.
I know you.
And I suspect he will
probably
now not score for like 8 games in a row.
Yeah, well, this is.
And then we just won't talk about it.
All the same.
But I did think that as I was watching it, I was like, it's going to be awkward to talk about this because everyone knows he's got a bit of a rhetoric at this point. He's just very average. And it's not ideal when he scores a hat-trick and gets an assist.
Yeah, it's hard to carry on that narrative.
To justify that position.
And he got this. Yeah, he got this. Yeah. Make no mistake, this is a big result for Aston Villa.
You know what? It is mind-boggling that Aston Villa got turned over, 5-1 by Newcastle on the first day? And then Villa's turned over Brighton 6-1, and Brighton's turned over basically everyone this season, like 3-4-1. It's all very confusing for that, what I'm going to call the 6th, 7th spot, basically. Like, the best team punching up.
Between the top 6, 3 points between the top 6.
The old Everton spot, basically.
Has it been that tight? In like, I wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
It's the most open it's probably ever been between that many teams.
Yeah, it looks fun. It does look fun. And Newcastle are, lurking there. I expect West Ham to fall away, but Newcastle are gaining a bit of steam now.
Palace, United, Chelsea, the kind of mid-table teams holding it up.
But yeah, let's get into this game then. Basically,
go on then.
Yeah, don't worry about Chelsea. But yeah, let's get into this one. So I think what's happened here is Unai Emery is a fucking tactical genius, and what he's done is he's pressed so aggressive. So what does Brighton do? What do we know that they do? They get the ball, they pass it to the centre backs. Centre backs put their studs on it. They wait for you. They try and get you to come at them. They play through you or they play over you, but they always find a way and they always pick the best option. So what Aston Villa did was they did not press any of the centre backs, and the second the ball went to Gilmore or Hinchelwood, who was making his debut, poor bloke, they got swamped. John McGinn was like a man possessed. Ollie Watkins was really, really good. Everyone was just pressing the shit out of those two midfielders, and basically they just did that 3 or 4 times and just ruthlessly scored every time.
They scored
they got the
some
ball. They were disgustingly efficient. This is a bit of an anomaly game because their XG was lower than Brighton's, which shows that it's one of those. It's just one of those games where everything's just going really, really well. But they had a really good game plan. They've exploited Brighton in a way that you rarely see Brighton get exploited, and when it works, that attacking lineup for Villa is
it was a complete
pretty special
from Villa, and I think they could be top 4 contenders. I think they have to put them in that bracket. Just got good recruitment. Like, they've built a really good squad.
Well, you went for it. You put them in yours, I think. Well, I remember it's a bit of an anomaly. I'd say that was a bit of a wild card one. I thought he's got a bit excited there about their nice signings, but Unai Emery is notorious for punching up.
That's what I mean. That's why I don't think they're a
table as well.
Because,
the squad is really good.
They actually do spend a lot of money, but they just kind of, it's not enough to really catch people's attention, but it's just smart recruitment. They've probably spent the same amount as Newcastle, probably over a longer period, but I'd say the squads are very similar. And now they've got arguably the better manager in Emery as well. Yeah, I think they're going to be a good team.
Defo.
Go on then.
So here's a hot take for you. Beginning of the end of the De Zerbi honeymoon period. Maybe it was all just a bit too perfect and everything was just a bit too good. And he's made a few digs in the last few weeks saying that this was the worst performance when I think they beat Everton, which is unnecessary, or they beat Bournemouth or someone. And yeah, after this, I'm wondering if maybe a little cooling off period now, because it was all just a bit too lovey-dovey and a bit too perfect.
And it all kind of started when they lost to... They beat United, didn't they? And everyone was gassing them up. They beat Newcastle as well. I don't know. Is it too soon to say? Maybe the extra fixtures of Europe.
That's why it's a hot take. You go early without real proof or data. You just say stuff. You just say things, and if it comes true, you're a genius. And if it doesn't, you just never talk about it again.
Mate. I think it is. I think it's over for De Zerbi. Bring back Potter. That's what I say. Oh,
he's not going to make it to the end of the season. Potter to return.
The return of Potter would be mad. That'd be crazy. Potter back to Chelsea. What do you reckon? Come on to that.
That'd be a crazy narrative. Do you know what I actually would love to see?
Potter. The thing is, Graham Potter could be managing Aston Villa.
Next manager, Bielsa.
But that's the level of club that
that'd be so rogue and so fun. Like a good 2-year stint, just a bit Bielsa. Okay, on my side, looks like Hugh's frozen, so I reckon that's a good time to take a break. So I'm just going to take a break now. Thanks for listening. See you in part 2.
Football podcast. We're back with the next round of the games. So I was just so. Welcome, Bob.
Welcome, Bob.
I was just so gassed to have plus 20 plus megabytes per second. This is so much, mate.
Yeah, bro.
This is so much.
So yeah, basically, listener, it turns out Hugh's average internet speed is 4 megabytes a second. For balance, mine is 50. It's so slow, it's like he's on dial-up, but he lives in London. It's almost impressive how bad it is.
If anyone's noticed the dip in quality, it is my internet. I'm tanking this. I'm taking it down. So we may have found the perfect spot. I've basically got a portable Wi-Fi purely for recording pods in the hope that we can just get some connection. So me and Jack can just look at each other on a video call and record it.
That's literally all we're trying to do.
That's all we're trying.
Let's have a normal video call. That's all we're trying to do. You know, things you do every day. That's all we're trying to do.
You know what?
It shouldn't be this
like
hard. BT.
It's for this day and age.
I was just gonna
It's
say.
like making a phone call. You know, it's like we're trying to make a phone call, and we can't even do that.
It's like, yeah, it's basic. BT, if you're listening, we will literally sell all your products if you just sort out Hughes Internet. Talk, you're done, you're out. Virgin, same proposition to you. Any internet providers who are listening, honestly, we will pitch the shit out of your products if you can just fix Hughes Internet for free, or at least just get them into double digits.
I've just typed into Google on the back of that. Has Talk Internet got worse? I'm telling you.
What does Google say?
I mean, it just says, there's questions to it. It's like, why isn't my internet suddenly worse? And it's like, yeah, fair enough. Who knows? The way I noticed was there was just thunderstorms one day and I lost internet. And ever since then, it's a bit overcast or it's a bit rainy. Just lose internet for a bit. So
I blame the Conservative government, if I'm honest. Internet budget cuts.
Exactly.
Can't afford full fibre. They binned it off.
No, they're probably taxing it, the bastards. Letting us peasants eat this scrappy 4 megabytes per second. But anyway, this is actually about football. At its core, this show. And we're going to go and talk about Arsenal.
Politics.
With a bit of politics. But there's no politics in this game. It was pretty much a walkover. And we actually enjoyed a nice early season walkover in Bournemouth last year, which really kick-started our season, and it felt similar. It wasn't as much of a flourish. It didn't play as well. But ultimately, the result was pretty much the same. And we just walked all over. And it was great to see. Odegaard had obviously a good game. It is a bit worrying how he doesn't show up for the big games, but he's an absolute killer in these games for sure. He's just a class above. Saka looks worryingly ready to break, to be honest with you. And I'm really worried about his long-term sustainability. If he just plays every game, bro. Every game. Havertz
does play
goal.
like a lot of games. How many? Who is the understudy to Saka?
There isn't really one. Is the truth. The only position we're lacking a true backup is right wing, because he doesn't play Smith Rowe there. He doesn't play Reece Nelson there. He plays Fabio Vieira there, but Fabio Vieira is much better in the centre mid in the Kai Havertz role. So
I see. You can see what he's looking for, though, can't you? He's looking for a like for like inside forward, basically. He's left-footed.
I know, but
that is Fabio Vieira.
He's going to break Saka. No one can play this amount of games.
Give the man a break. 100%.
Give him a break.
He plays every game for Arsenal, twice a week. And then he plays basically every game for England as well. He's pushing like 60 games a season at the age of like 22. Not good.
Not good. Well, if anyone can handle it, it's Saka, but he actually went off an injury tonight against Lens. We've just lost 2-1, by the way. And he went off injured in the first half. So
brilliant.
Not looking good, but overall, if we're talking in the context of this game, a lovely result and made even sweeter knowing the results that went across the country. United losing, City losing, Liverpool losing, Tottenham winning, which did take it away, Chelsea losing as well. Actually, no, Chelsea didn't win. Chelsea won, actually. God.
Chelsea won. More on that. Yeah, more on that later. It was a good
shock
guess.
Result.
9 times out of 10, you'd be right. They pulled off a shock win.
Shock win at Craven Cottage. Yeah. We have to say we should be worried about Bournemouth. They look a much worse team than they did last year. Bar that first 20-30 minutes in Anfield, where they actually look pretty decent, they've shown nothing.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, because they have played 7 games and they've got no wins. And
it feels
it's a bit crude to make this comparison, but they did sack Gary O'Neill and he took over at Wolves, and Wolves have got 2 wins this season and over twice as many points as them. So it's not a direct comparison, because different styles, different teams, different players, but it does seem like what might have happened is they got rid of good old meat and potatoes, Gary O'Neill, Mr. Steak Bake.
100%.
They got a bit seduced by the Spanish manager, the kind of continental.
It feels
flair,
like
which
that.
all clubs do at some point. We all get a bit carried away. We all think, "Oh, he's exotic." He's managed a team who did okay last season.
He comes from a niche Spanish club. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this guy's come from. I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to put disrespect on this guy. I don't even know his name, to be honest with you. Is it Idriola? I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, Iriola. And yeah, he came from Rayo
Yeah.
Rayo Vallecano.
It's a Premier League podcast for a reason. Because you can't pronounce half the names over in the Liga. Or any other league.
We can recognise them, but we cannot pronounce them.
Yeah.
And we're definitely on the culture side of football fans, I reckon.
100%.
What I would say is, are we just looking at the managerial equivalent of Iago Aspas? Very good in La Liga, small club, punching up, suits him well, moves to England, terrible, terrible decision. Like, sometimes you take things out, like when you take players out Brighton, they just become worse.
You just felt like he had a good thing with Gary O'Neill, Bournemouth. Good season.
Yeah.
Built up.
It all made sense.
It was like they're a solid little unit, and then they just got rid. So, yeah,
there you go.
Hard. It's hard. But back to Arsenal. I thought Declan Rice was fantastic. Kai Havertz scores his first goal in the famous red and white. What do you reckon, huh?
Pity penalty.
It had to be.
Pity penalty.
It had to be a penalty, didn't it?
It was a good penalty. It was a good penalty, so that was something. I was nervous watching it. I was like... Yeah, because I was like, this is one of those things where this can go very, very well or very, very badly. And it, based on the way he started, maybe this is not the right thing to do. Because if he misses this,
hell to pay.
He's going to be fucked for a few weeks.
Hell to pay if he misses that.
It's going to be overwhelming on social media.
No, I agree.
Just a sheer volume of memes. But he did score, and 007, 008.
It is a bit concerning, though, isn't it? How much encouragement does this guy need to get motivated or get his confidence at least? 65 mil. I'm not turning on him. I'm just saying, like, for me, it's a concern. It's almost like the Jadon Sancho debacle.
It should be a concern.
Yeah.
It should be. You compare him with other new signings who have come in, like Szoboszlai's come in, made more of an impact, similar kind of role. Maddison's been unreal. Like, they're all roughly the same kind of player. It's not like he needed a bedding in process. He just looks like a worse version of Granit Xhaka, which is not a sentence I ever thought I'd say, but Granit Xhaka, mate. He was really good last year.
Underrated last year, and look, Leverkusen in the top of the
goals, left, right, and centre.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they're top of the league over in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Is it to do with Xhaka? It's probably to do with Alonso, but let's pretend it's to do with Xhaka. The Rock,
Granit. He's just a shit Granit Xhaka. He's just a shit Granit Xhaka.
Granit Xhaka.
Now that's a football chant.
I know, that would be a good football chant. You're just a shit Granit Xhaka. Shit Granit Xhaka. That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, man. We could have fun with that.
Well, let's move on to Old Trafford. United versus Crystal Palace. Palace walk away with 1-0 win. Roy Hodgson masterclass. Can you believe it?
He's done it again.
I
can't believe it.
He's actually got a great run.
Because
He's got a great run at Old Trafford. Have you seen?
He does it every year. Yeah, seen it. 5 years in a row.
Every year. Right, keep talking. This cat.
I can actually hear that. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, listener, but Hugh's obsessed with his cat. Regular listeners will know this. The cat wants to go in. The cat wants to come out. The cat's about to appear on video in a minute, momentarily, I'm sure. And then Hugh will get very distracted and just start not responding to anything football related and just stroking his cat and being weird. So now we've got video, you can actually see this.
You know what I've noticed is that thing that Mum does where she's on her phone, she's just smiling, just writing the text. And you could be like, Mum, the ceiling's coming down, and she'll be like, sorry, what, darling? You know that? I'm picking that up.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do both anymore. I sit there, I look at my cat, and obviously I can't hear people. If I'm texting, I'm just kind of smiling, looking at my phone. Just oblivious to the rest of the world. Turning 30 is a cruel twist. Okay.
So what, are you just sitting there, just stroking the cat, just smiling, just lost
I can't
in the goodness of it?
Stroke the cat. It sounds like some weird euphemism, but I can't stroke the cat while podcasting. It's hard. I don't know, dude. You haven't tried it.
Not the best phrasing you've ever had.
No, it wasn't my deal.
No.
No, it's better than her.
It's a cute cat, though.
It is a cute cat.
Yeah, well, I look forward to seeing her soon. She's a fucking cute cat.
No, I don't.
Anyway,
Probably
on to other cute animals. Roy Hodgson, not as cute in the rain. Looks like a wet owl, but what a wet owl he is.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that
man.
was a good segue.
Longest unbeaten run at Old Trafford for an away manager. I've made that stat up, but he hasn't lost in 5 games, so it's probably real. What a fucking legend! What a fucking legend he is.
I love that from you.
Yeah.
Just bullshit facts.
Yeah, hey, fact check me. Good luck Googling that. It's fucking impossible. I couldn't even get the stats on it when I Googled, has Roy Hodgson won or lost at Old Trafford? It's very difficult. But he's just a binary guy. 1-0 here, probably 1-0 last time, 2-1, 3-2, whatever. He's a binary guy. He grinds it out. He likes Jordan Ayew, which I think is very sus. But
every
he's
manager
just
likes
good vibes in his old age.
Yeah. He's doing bits, is our Roy.
He's just good vibes.
He's doing bits, our Roy.
And like a centre back scored a great goal in this game. It's all very Roy Hodgson, all of it.
It's the main talking point. I thought Onana could have saved that. I'm not even trying to be like on Onana. Genuinely, if you look at the angle, De Gea would have saved that. I know De Gea might have, made a mistake or passed out from the back and conceded another way. But I'm telling you, De Gea saves that.
Yeah, well, you could apply that to a lot of moments this season already.
That's
Onana is looking bad currently.
He's looking
like a bad goalkeeper. He looks like a serviceable midfielder, but a very bad goalkeeper currently.
That's the concern. I know he's been brought in to play out from the back, but you know what I mean? It's almost like if you wish for United fans. They used to think De Gea was the root of all evil, and he wasn't. He just was a bit shit playing out from the back.
They did. They got worse. They actually got worse. We just assumed this would be a fix. It made sense.
Yeah.
But if you do a power rankings, all the starting goalies in the league after 7 games, he's in the bottom 3 so far. He's in the bottom 3 worst performing goalies. As a hot take after 7 games. So I'm looking at the league table and I'm like, I don't know who Sheffield United's goal is, to be fair. But yeah,
maybe
down
he's not
there.
suited
He is
to the English
performing
game.
very, very badly as a goalkeeper. And that's got to be a worry.
It's a massive worry. I'd be really worried. And I think United fans are worried.
I don't even think it's that. He just looks like he can't fucking save anything. Like, shots go at him and he just dives the wrong way. He's just...
This one, David
he's
De Gea
noticeably bad.
would have saved it. De Gea was a brilliant shot stopper. He would have saved it.
To end our Man United section, I'm just gonna end it. We've got to move on because there's a talking point that I need to get onto. But Man United, it's your worst Premier League start in 34 years. Oh dearie me. So not looking good for Man United, I'd argue. Just lost Hugh. Hugh seems to have dropped off. Not ideal. Bit like Man United's form. Fingers crossed he'll come back in a second. Everton 1. Luton 0. So annoying. Everton, why are you like this? Everton, why are you like this?
Did you say Everton 1, Luton 0?
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's very annoying. Oh dear.
I can't this internet.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there.
It's like you just came out the fog. That was so good.
Oh god. Oh
no.
Oh.
The rope-a-dope internet. It's just going back and swinging.
Okay.
How do you feel then? Okay, how do you feel? While we can still speak, how do you feel about this devastating loss?
I feel let down, if I'm honest. I feel disappointed that Liverpool disappointed me, but it wasn't really their fault. Sean Dyche disappointed me, and it was entirely their fault. And when Ash was on, we were talking about Luton, and obviously everyone's chatting a lot of shit about Luton. We both agreed the only points they're going to get realistically this season that are guaranteed is Everton. And so it proved to be, annoyingly. They're halfway there already. And honestly, they deserved it, I'd say, overall. Like, Luton are the only team in the league who aren't trying to play nice Man City-ish football. They're not trying to play possession football. They're not trying to play like proper football. They're trying to play proper Championship Burnley style football,
Fair.
and I feel like that difference, if they can get it right, might just be enough to keep them up. Because there's always that horrible team like Sheffield United who were progressive but also very Championship, and previously Burnley under Sean Dyche. I feel like maybe just being different, smashing set pieces, and just being a really horrible place to go.
You're not wrong.
Might honestly be enough.
Yeah, it could be a shout. And there are 3 teams arguably worse. I mean, I put them in the mix with Bournemouth, Burnley, and Sheffield. I think Everton's in that mix as well, to be honest. Like, they're going to struggle, all those teams this year, in my opinion. And they're all the bottom 5. It's a worry for Everton. It felt like they could have built on their win last week, which was a great win against Brentford, away from home. They come back.
Yeah.
They've got Luton at home, who at the time were rooted to the bottom of the table. Build some home support after this really toxic atmosphere, and it's just like, bosh. They've just ruined it.
Straight back down.
Ruined it. Straight back down. So
yeah, they're new owners in the stands as well. The Americans in their baseball caps. Saw a lot of memes of. No. Have you watched Succession, Hugh? Have you watched Succession?
I tried starting it, but my attention span's got. I'm like a goldfish these days. So I didn't really get into it.
Well, this reference is not going to work on you. But there's a lot of Kendall Roy going on. Basically, there's a lot of Kendall Roy vibes about them. Like, not very serious looking American businessmen in baseball caps. Just all looking a little bit shocked that their fucking massive acquisition is not really looking very good already. And it would take a brave investment group to buy Everton with all the financial problems that they have. Half-built stadium, owner whose fucking money is tied up in the Ukraine war because he's Russian billionaire. Like Farhad Mashiri, who just hates it. Toxic fan base because they hate the board. The board got punched, one of them, I think, last season.
A lady as well.
It's just...
It's toxic.
That's not the kind of investment. They're looking at it from, this is the lowest it'll ever be worth. And I get that. But
yeah,
you could just buy a Championship club. They're going to be switching places next season, realistically.
Thing is, if Everton got relegated, where Luton is damaging for every club to go down. For a club like Everton, with the problems they've got with finances at the moment as it is as a Premier League club, if they go down, it could be like a Leeds, it could be like a Sunderland, it could be like a Derby.
Yeah.
It would be sad if Everton went down because they're a quintessential Premier League team. They're a top division team, Everton. And it is quite sad to see how bad they are. They're so bad.
They look so bad.
They are so bad, dude.
And the worst part is so many of their assets and players, which they always buy players for way too much money. Bar Damari Gray, don't know why they got rid of him. But, like, who of their players is worth real money? Onana, DCL, Pickford? I'd say that's probably the main ones. And that's not going to fill the hole and the massive debt.
The thing is that I don't know. They have a squad that should be doing far better and could be doing. They should be looking to be like Brighton or Aston Villa. They should have those aspirations. West Ham.
They should be Aston Villa. They were Aston Villa for a while.
They were Aston Villa for a while. Under Moisey, of all people. And now he's doing it at West Ham.
Yeah.
So maybe respect to Moisey.
Nah, fuck that.
Nah. So sad.
Nah, fuck that. Right. Yeah, anyway. Fulham 0, Chelsea 2. Chelsea won a game.
Can't believe it.
And Mudryk scored his first goal.
Oh,
Can you believe it? After 20 odd games, he's bloody done it.
I'm actually happy.
The return on investment begins. A goal has been scored in a professional match for the 70 mil winger.
Nah, it'll be in hard.
Signed in January after twerking for Arsenal for a long time. We are now in October.
Goal.
7 months later, he has just paid back that first million. 69 more to go.
It was a good goal though. Takes it from the left, chest.
It was a good goal.
Fucking through the legs of Ben Leno. Great goalkeeper. That's the Mudryk we all thought we were going to see.
It would be a cruel...
Come on, it'd be harsh to take that.
It would be cruel of me. You could see the relief on his face. It's just pure relief. Pain. Just dissipating. So I was happy for him.
Come on.
I was happy for him.
And I thought Chelsea played really well, but then also...
Do you know what I've just thought of as well?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
Do you know what I've just realised something. Mudryk's from fucking Ukraine, for fuck's sake. Like, he's got enough to worry about.
Yeah, dude.
It's no wonder he's been shit, actually. When you actually think about it, he's got a whole country to worry about. He's
100%.
in England and everyone's making fun of him. There's fucking half of his mates are on the front line, probably. No wonder his head's not right. No wonder he's not playing very well.
Yeah, but people haven't factored that in, do they?
Fuck.
And you've got to, like, mental health is...
Why have we factored that in, though? It's so obvious.
Because it's better, it's like, easier just to laugh.
God.
You just want to laugh, don't you?
I just feel bad now.
Magnet of criticism that isn't right, but it's the way that football is, unfortunately. It's the way that it is. That's what football Twitter's made it as well. Is that, it's like Caicedo.
Hella toxic.
As soon as he went to Chelsea, it's like every Liverpool fan, Judas. Usually that kind of hate was reserved for like Sol
Deserved.
But on football Twitter, you can rile each other up, and you know what I mean. Like, it's a mental place, mate.
Yeah,
mental opinions. But I forgot what we were even talking about now.
No, yeah, sorry, I completely railroaded that fucking
Where
joke.
did we go? Where did we go?
I thought it was important to get it off my chest,
Basically,
I realised that
Mudryk scored.
Maybe
this is what happens, dude. It's like, oh my god, Mudryk actually scored. Fuck, dude, what the fuck, dude?
It's giving me fucking epiphanies, mate.
Like,
it's fucking changing my whole perception.
Like, Chelsea won a game. Like, what the fuck? It's crazy. 2 years ago when they were winning the Champions League, just like, when you put it like that in my head, it's like, what the hell, mate? What the hell?
Yeah. Oh, it's mad. But yeah, they were good. They were good.
Breuer, introduced the side, looked really good, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Looked like the kind of striker they desperately need up front. And certainly an upgrade on Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah.
Which says a lot, but we won't go into that. You wonder if they kept Tammy Abraham, because he would have fit, in my opinion, what they're going for, the Chelsea hierarchy as well. So I find it weird. I mean,
it's not out of the question that they just sign him back.
For like 100 mil.
They make many bad decisions.
They've made...
Yeah, Breuer looks quite good, but I'm pretty sure he went off injured in this game. So
again, you're joking.
I don't know how bad that was.
You're bloody joking.
Yeah, I think so.
No,
I think so. After scoring a really good goal and looking good. I don't know how bad the injury was. It might have just been precautionary, but yeah.
Oh no, that
wasn't looking great for him.
It's not looking great, bro. That's crazy. That's happening again. God's sakes, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what to say really. I mean, Fulham were just bad. Fulham were pretty bad in this game. I think the biggest. I mean, we did say this in our predictions. Selling Mitrovic seemed like Fulham were going to have a bad time this season. They were just going
to. Really
they were too good last season. They were XG anomalies last season, and Raul Jimenez, we've established, is just not. He's not that guy anymore. He has no goals left in him, and Carlos Vinicius is just bad at football. He's 28, and no one wants him. I don't know why he's there. He's not very good.
They've tried to replace.
That's
Mitrovic,
not enough.
Yeah.
That's not even Mitrovic's like. That's not even like his fucking arm. You know. Mitrovic would have been perfect for this game.
Yeah,
bullying Chelsea. Chelsea are delicate, you know.
So true.
The mentality's low, just being a nuisance, giving them something to worry about. This could have been a very different game, but it was just so easy for Chelsea. They made it look easy though. Cole Palmer played quite well as well. The new front three, Mudryk, Palmer, Breuer. Does make you wonder why they keep buying right wingers.
Sterling, all of it. It's mental how much they have, and yet I don't want to go into it, but I know XG is nothing to go by, but if you look at their XG in previous games, they were always outperforming the other team. Not always, but you know what I mean? Like, yes, they've been losing, but the stats suggest that they've been creating chances. So it was a matter of time before they got a win, but it's just interesting that I'm sitting here talking, encouraging words that Chelsea got a win. Haven't done this since 2004, perhaps. We've never spoken about Chelsea.
It's a low bar.
This.
It's a very, very low bar.
Maybe that season under Mourinho where it all went wrong.
The other weird anomaly. Yeah, but that was funny. That was really enjoyable.
Only because it was such a shock.
And it's still funny.
But now it's kind of like, we're getting used to it. And that's really the worry for Chelsea, is that everyone's getting used to the fact that they're getting hard.
Yeah, same as Man United. It's still funny, but it's just kind of. I mean, we put Man United losing to Crystal Palace just like in the middle. It's
No,
not
it
even a
used
big
to be a
deal.
big deal, bro. It's
It's not
such
even
a
worth
good
talking
idea.
about,
It's
really.
such a good point, sorry. It actually used
Yeah,
to be such a massive deal. No, it ain't. Now it's like, meh.
yeah. Like we put City losing to Wolves as basically the second game in the
That's the
listing
equivalent.
because that was
That's
a
the
shock.
equivalent. Yeah.
Man United, we could have put it last. We could have put it last.
Could
You know,
have. Because it's like nothing doesn't surprise you.
they lost
I know.
today.
I know.
They
I
fucking
know.
lost to
I wasn't sure we were
Galatasaray
going to mention
today.
it because I didn't want to upset them any more than they should be upset, but it's not looking good, mate. I don't know how much longer Ten Hag's actually got, if I'm honest with you.
Who would you bring
You've
in?
got to stick. For me, you have to stick. What do you think? What do you think? Do you know what I mean?
Nah, you can't flip that on me. I'm still trying to fucking process who I'd bring in. Who would I bring in? Zidane. Fuck it. Why
I don't
not?
think Zidane would
Give him
do it,
another
though.
call.
I
He's been
don't
out of
think
work
he'd
for
do it.
ages. Doesn't seem to want
No.
any jobs, does he? But I'm sure Man United could tempt him. They're not scared to spend a lot of money.
I just don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he wants it. I think he only got eyes for like PSG, Madrid. Like he's won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Why would he ruin his reputation and go fucking United? Do you know what I mean? It's like it's ruining. Like Ten Hag should be doing well.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't want to get passionate about this. I'm not passionate, but do you know what I mean? Ten Hag, by all means, should be thriving there because he did so well at Ajax. And
Yeah, there
my
is.
concern is like the squad he's built is dog, in my opinion. It's such a weird mix of like Mason Mount with Casemiro midfield. I don't know, like there's no vision. You look at what Liverpool have done. McAllister, how old is he? 26. Szoboszlai, 23. Top midfielders. You know what I mean? No fuss, no chasing, no moving to second targets. Just bosh. Didn't get Caicedo, no problem. Move on to Endo. They got Amrabat on deadline day, sure, but like if you get anyone on deadline day, really, it's like you've been hedging your bets. I don't know, dude. There's just no vision to Man United. It's not joined up, and
Yeah.
I just don't believe in Ten Hag's ability to actually build a squad. I thought he was just lucky at Ajax that they have the Ajax candidate.
It might just be a bigger problem. I think there's very few managers who could turn it around, and I think of the ones that could, none of them would go. Like Pep and Klopp would be the biggest. They'd be big enough personalities to actually sort it out and turn it around, and just tell people within Man United that this is dumb and we're not doing that. And I feel like Ten Hag is sometimes that guy, but maybe they don't take him as seriously as they should. I don't feel like he's in control of the actual club. I feel like he's sort of having to work within the confines and the rules of non-football people in Man United, all the mysterious bods, basically.
Perhaps. I mean, so many managers have failed that it can't be the managers at this point. But when things get really bad, it'd be interesting to see who what happens. Do the Glazers sell and finally admit defeat? Does Ten Hag get the time he needs to build a squad? Who knows, mate? All I know is like without Rashford on form, and that's nothing you can rely on. It's just an average team. Brute Fernandes is their best player by a country mile.
Yeah, it's so true. That hot spell really masked a lot of cracks last season for Manchester United. Just Rashford just bailing them out. Now I'm going to segue really nicely here, Hugh, and I'm sorry to do this, but speaking of hot streaks, are we entering Almiron 2.0?
Here we go.
Because the guy just scored an absolute screamer in Newcastle's win over Burnley. And if I remember correctly, it was the same time of year last season where everyone started to get very suspicious how Almiron became the best player in the world for 6 weeks.
He started flourishing.
And something about autumn. The guy likes the sort of cooler climate. And yeah, he scored a worldie in this game again. In what was a very easy, comprehensive win for Newcastle.
What a goal.
And
What a goal.
my only observation, if I may, is Newcastle. We said it in the summer. Tonali, good player, might be a bit rash. We went on the basis that he's Italian midfielder, and that has not worked out perfectly generally as a transfer profile. And they had sort of mixed start to the season. He was starting every game, and he's been brought out, I think, because he's injured. And they brought Sean Longstaff in, which is pretty much the other end of the scale of Tonali. This is a guy who 100% his wardrobe is like Abercrombie and Fitch from like 2008. Hasn't changed in fucking ages. Bit of Burton in there, top shot. And they look great. Like, they haven't conceded any goals since he started the last 3 games.
It's a very
Midfield
competent
balance
midfield.
is just perfect.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this is just a case of like, you know, like how Liverpool's midfield on paper when it was Van Alden, Henderson, and Fabinho, and you were like, none of those are like that good, but it just works. It just makes sense, and they all become better. And if you take one piece away, it all starts to fall apart. Maybe this is that. Maybe without Longstaff, Joelinton is not that box-to-box like rampager. Maybe without Longstaff, Guimaraes is not able to dictate the play because he just gets found out and he just gets fucking pressed. Who knows? Football's funny like that. But yeah, that was my take from this game. That Longstaff is a better fit for the midfield than Tonali right now.
Any insight or opinion anywhere near that. My takeaway, what I'd like to say is, what a goal from Miggy Almiron. That was a finish.
Back to the start of the section.
All I've got. Right, Jack's maybe come up. That was brilliant, Jack. I love that. But can we just talk about that finish?
Oh, take it away, mate. Take it away.
His left foot.
You indulge yourself.
Regen. Just. He was kind of centre though as well, wasn't he? So like to actually beat the goalie like that with a kind of finesse shot, fuck, mate. We maybe are seeing the renaissance of Miggy Almiron. Early November Miggy. That's it.
It's honestly an incredible redemption story.
Is it a redemption story though?
If he just starts to become
like hibernating
for 3 months every year, he just becomes
conserves his energy.
Oh, it is a redemption story because he was their record signing, the last signing under Mike Ashley, I think, and he was terrible.
He was really good as well,
for
wasn't
years. And everyone just felt sorry for him. Mate, they just started punishing everyone.
His own back.
Yeah, just.
Mate, God bless Miggy Almiron. Well, do you think Vincent Kompany's going to last the season before we move on? You think he will?
Yeah, he will. I think he will. They were so good in the Championship last season, and they've had really horrible fixtures, to be honest with them. They've had the worst fixtures of any. But what I would say is I think they play Luton tomorrow, and that is a must-win game. Otherwise, there's going to be actual pressure on the board.
Completely agree. Do you want to do the final one?
Yeah.
Do we have to do the final one? It's Forest 1, Brentford 1. Point apiece. Very fair result.
Really.
Brentford are lacking a little bit, aren't they, this season? They usually start strong.
Yeah, they're a bit off it. This could be an unpleasant season for them. It could be a bad season for them. Yeah, they just miss Ivan Toney. Yeah. He just bails them out of these turgid games. This would have been potentially 2-1. You would have said nothing about it.
He's just missing Ivan Toney. It's that specific what they're missing. It just looks wrong seeing Mboma and Wissa without Toney spearheading. It's just not the same.
It's just not the same. Their form, they haven't scored for a few games, like 2-3 games now, either of them.
They're going down.
Over.
They're going down.
Bring him back. I saw Ivan Toney played a game, by the way. He played a game against like Como FC or something behind closed doors. And
he's not allowed to.
I'm not a lawyer, but I remember very distinctly that his band said he's not allowed to do any football related activities. And I feel like playing a game behind closed doors is, by definition, very much football-related activities. So, I don't really understand what's going on.
I haven't seen anything like that. Let me have a quick look on Twitter. That'd be mad if true.
It's a bit of a conundrum.
We don't support Ivan Toney's ban anyway. We categorically do not support it.
Nah. Release Ivan Toney.
I'd take him at Arsenal. In a heartbeat. Would you take Ivan Toney? I feel like Liverpool could probably benefit from Ivan Toney. When you have so many strikers, but you also don't have many strikers. It's a really weird kind of.
I don't think we need him. we're quite stacked. I think we've got 5 solid first team forwards at this point. Plus, there's probably some youngsters get some minutes. I think we're fine.
Stocky Ben Doak.
Don't even forget about Ben Doak, mate.
Mate, he's
the Scottish Messi.
I don't know if he's good. You know what I mean? I don't know if he'll come good. It'll be interesting to see. It's the beauty of Ben Doak.
No one does.
Scottish
no one
Messi.
does. Yeah, his nationality's going against him in my head, but we'll see. Do you know what I mean? It's just not really had like sort of good dribbly, like technical kind of players come out of Scotland.
Just
really
strong work ethic.
Yeah, I feel like he might just end up just somewhere in the Championship, and that'll just be that. A bit like Harry Wilson. I know he's at Fulham now, but you know what I mean. He spent a while just sort of drifting around.
Replace Salah.
We'll see. Anyway, we're not talking about
that. That's it. That's what we do.
Well, that's what we do. That's what you do in Football Manager, though. You would just have Ben Doak as the 1.5-star, 2-star ability, 5-star potential player, and you just feed him 10 minutes every game until he got to 2.5.
Like a 2-star, 4-star.
A few cup games, you know.
Stats like determination,
but life's not that
physicality, simple. Things that that can't be developed. I think you're right.
I reckon so. Yeah, because like so many players are really
good. If he's replacing Salah,
yeah, they don't usually pan out, but you get very excited for 2 seasons.
Must be good, really.
He looks good when he comes up, but he does just look like a little stocky boy. So I don't know.
But I reckon he's going to be like Messi, where he's just so strong.
We'll see it. Yeah. We'll see it pans out though. Some 100%. People do go through like ridiculous transformations
100%.
Around like 20.
It could be like, yeah.
So we'll see. And on that very emotive note, I think that's a good time to stop. Everyone can just leave with the image of Ben Doak being 6'5",
like looking like Captain America post blow up. Wow. So that's crazy.
Yeah, Leon Goretzka after one summer at Bayern Munich. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, that guy started eating. I don't know what he was eating before, but he was eating, bro. Yeah,
bad.
But yeah, thanks as always for listening. I apologise again for my absolutely caveman internet. It's got to stop. It's got to stop now. All right, so I'll get there. Don't hold Jack accountable. This is purely on my internet, and it's a struggle. It's not clear what the fix is at the moment.
Yeah, I'm literally just looking at a pixelated potato for half of this. So
you know what?
If I'm just talking over him,
that's the risk. Is that we've done all this.
I don't fucking know what's going on my side,
and it's just us talking.
It's unusable.
It's happened before. You're gonna have to bring Ashley. You're gonna have to bring Ashley back with his 5G fucking.
We will see.
Dialed into the hardware. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Is when I get BT. To
Kingston's finest.
Sort out this nonsense. Anyway, I'll see you later.